Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Mysticland. And for this week's episode, I decided that we are going to discuss a show that I've been watching. Actually, I binge watched season 2 this past week. So yeah, our discussion is going to be Making a Murderer. So if you have not seen it, this is going to be a huge spoiler video. I'm going to actually be talking about spoiler fucking details. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, don't continue watching this particular video. I'd rather not spoil it for you, and you come back to this video after you've seen it. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a really good show. There's 2 seasons, and then come back and tell me what you thought of it. And then at that point, you can watch, the video and see what my thoughts were. So, continuing on, for those that have watched it, like I said, let me know what your thoughts were. Basically, how it was for me is in season 1, in the beginning, I definitely thought he was guilty, because it's the beginning of the show. You don't really know much, and you know how it is. It's it's the same with on the internet. Someone says, "Oh, he raped so and so," you automatically consider him a rapist, right? So it's really the tough part of the system is that if so many people are saying you're guilty, more and more people believe you're guilty, right? So yeah. So as I continued watching season 1, I started thinking otherwise. Like, there was one episode in season 1 where you definitely really think he is guilty, because they start talking about, how he takes the girl into the room and, rapes her, and then has, his cousin, help. And, at that point, yeah, you're not liking the guy, obviously. But then along the ways, I believed that the cousin made it up. Why the hell you would make something up, I don't know. But, assuming you have seen the show, both of them have pretty low IQs. So it doesn't seem like they really got a proper education when they were younger. So yeah, their IQs are not very big. Granted, I definitely think Steven has a better IQ, for sure. Which would make sense, I think he's had a little more time to have an education, because Brendan was put in jail at 16, whereas I can't quite remember when the first time for Steven was, but yeah, so there is so much story to this. Like, so much is covered in season 1. And like I said, halfway through season 1, I'm basically believing he's guilty. It wasn't until roughly the halfway point of season 1 that I started thinking, okay, maybe there's a possibility he's not guilty. And then at the end of season 1, I was like, okay, for sure he's not guilty. This is, wrongful imprisonment, right? Which is interesting because, of course, if you've watched it, you know that he already did time for being put in to the system wrongfully. He did 18 years of I think it was 18, either 16 or 18 years of a 32-year sentence for rape, and they found a hair which cleared him and all that. So yeah, you would think that they would not want to do that again. And season 2, definitely, like, really, unless they are severely buttercupping, the Netflix series, which is totally possible. But, I definitely believe in his innocence from season 2. And yeah, there's just so many weird things going on in season 2. Like, it's so weird. Like, for starters, I don't understand why they would never really investigate Teresa's family or friends. I definitely think, and I thought this back in season 1, but I definitely think that the ex-boyfriend could be guilty. I say could be because there's so many could be's. Like, there's the ex-boyfriend is pretty fucking guilty in my mind, especially since he won't talk to anyone now. He looked guilty enough, in past episodes where you saw him being questioned, but now he will not talk to Steven's lawyer, which makes him seem even more guilty because, like, if you're innocent, you'll talk to people to clear your name, right? So yeah, that definitely makes him guilty. Okay, so then there's Brendan's brother who had disturbing images on his computer as far as, like, murder pictures and sex pictures and stuff like that. So that definitely puts him into the really guilty category. And to be honest, I don't know, a part of me still feels like the ex-boyfriend is, a guilty member, but I steer a little more to the brother, I guess, because 1, those are pretty disturbing images. 2, you'll remember that Brendan drew some of those images. So up on the stand, he says that, oh, I must have gotten that from Kiss the Girls, which, by the way, great movie. And when he said that, I was sitting there thinking, like, at that time when it was first said, I believed it because we hadn't had this new information yet. But now that they found something on the computer, I think he definitely found that computer. There's just so much going on with that show, and then the system is just so whacked, man. Like, coercing a fucking 16-year-old to say they're guilty when they have no idea what's going on, like, that's just wrong, and really, and I don't pin blame on Brendan when I say this, but it probably will come across that way, but really, without that confession, I don't think Steven would even be in there. That whole time, Steven was saying, no, I didn't do it. No, I wasn't there. No, I, blah, 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 whatever. It was always no. And so they could never get a confession out of him. Till this day, he still has not confessed to that, which I admire, because really, if you truly are innocent, you should never confess, even if it means you'll get early parole, because the truth always comes out. You've got a lawyer looking into stuff, like, I'm really glad that he's kind of sticking to his guns with that. And yeah, but man, the system, like, after I watched that show, I looked around for, like, other cases, and that's where I found what was his name? Ryan Ferguson, I believe it was. And, his was pretty interesting pretty an interesting story. I haven't like watched the movie on his story, so I don't know exactly what happened. But from what I've read, it sounds like someone dreamt he was the killer and all of a sudden he was in jail. Like that just, to me, that just seems so fucking retarded. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the movie for that one. But yeah, so I think that's all I got to say today. I just wanted to kind of voice my opinion. I am officially on the fucking bandwagon for, this whole save Stephen Avery. I believe in his innocence. Because it is a serious crime he is committed for. So I wanted to be pretty sure that I wasn't sitting back here rooting for a rapist and a murderer. You know what I mean? So yeah, and after going over the ideas in my head and watching the show and doing a little research aside from the show, I am 100% sure that guy is innocent. And I feel really bad for both of them. Brendan for being coerced into a confession, and Stephen for, being committed for something he didn't do. I definitely think that at all times, a parent should be with the 16-year-old when they are being questioned. Like, I do not think that he should have ever been questioned without someone there, someone he knew. So yeah, that part just seemed very wrong to me. So in conclusion, there are definitely a lot of details in this particular investigation. And I honestly don't think that we even know all of them. I know that the lawyer has been, like Kathleen Zellner, has been, tweeting stuff out on Twitter and, taking questions and stuff. But I still have a hard time believing that we, as the whole public, the entire world, are actually getting all the details, because why would they? It would make no sense for us to actually have all the details because one, it's the internet. The last thing you want is the wrong person seeing what you've found. I would think there's protocol. So yeah, I know there's probably people out there that believe that everything on her Twitter is every single thing she's found, but I don't. I do not believe that whatsoever. I believe that once they've shown it in court, then, they show us. Like, you just wouldn't see it before the courts. So yeah. I do think their approach is a good idea, though, for the general public. At first, I thought it was kind of weird to have, like, a trial being broadcast to the world for them to, like, do their own investigations. But it has been years. And I do believe that when you've been working on a case for that long, maybe someone else seeing it from their set of eyes may strike up something that you might have overlooked. So I do see it as a good idea. I just feel bad for the Ask Me page because there are probably some stupid questions in there. So, but other than that, I think their approach is great because, you never know. You never know. Like, there might have been the the smallest little thing that you're not thinking of. Okay, so I think we're going to call it here. I meant for this just to be like a quick little 10-minute video. Turned out to be 15 minutes so far. So I think we're good here. From my knowledge, there is no season 3 for Making a Murderer in production yet. I imagine the way they'll do it is once they start gathering enough evidence to fill, say, 10 episodes, then, we'll have a season 3. So who knows? It could be a while before we see one, because this is based on real life events, right? So they kind of need stuff to happen to have another season. So yeah, but I'm sure we'll hear more info on that at some point. So that is all I got for you guys. So leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you are rooting for them. Do you think they're innocent, or do you think they're guilty? Let me know, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.